Hello watchers and welcome to Pimp My Staircase. This is a customization video for the Disney Dollhouse that I'm currently working on. So let's get stuck in. I just placed all these bits in place for the issue videos. I need to fix the wobbly leg there. So we just need to start by taking these apart, because I'm not going to do anything to the railings, so they can stay out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add colour to the landing and all of the treads. So we need to take those off so I can do what I'm going to do with them. And it's fairly simple to take them off. Put them to the side for one moment. Now the other thing I'm going to do is, because we have got these really lovely sort of star flowers for the Frozen hallway, but they don't really stand out, so I sort of want them to stand out but not too much. So these tiny flowers on the side, I'm going to paint over them with an acrylic iridescent from Holbein. Now I know the Frozen room's quite a blue room, so it would make sense for me to use the Chroma Pearl blue, but to me, colour wise, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, I think there's more colour to the green one and it's not too displacent. The green one is this one. So yeah, I think I'm going to use the green one. And as you can see by my finger already, all it's going to do is just add a little bit of sparkle. So it's not going to make it stand out too much, but just add a little zing, a little pizzazz to it. And I'm going to use the tiniest brush that I own. So let's see how we get on. So I'm literally just going to do what they always tell you not to do, which is using paint directly from the tube. And I'm just going to start from the top and just paint very delicately over the top. And because it's not like a fully opaque paint, if I make mistakes, it's not going to be too noticeable. And because it's an acrylic paint, it won't, I mean, it'll scratch off if you sit there and scratch it off, by all means, but it's not going to like fade or anything very quickly. But already, can you see how the light catches it? So it's just a little bit of extra magic. So I'll go ahead and do the rest of those and show you what it looks like when I've done it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and painted all of those, and this is what it looks like. Just look at it when the light hits on it. It's a nice little bit of magic. I'm really liking that. I'm glad I've done that. Just got to get it so the light hits it just right, which is what I wanted, so it's not too obvious, but it is there, if that makes any sense. So I will leave a link in the description below of where you can get these if you want to do something similar yourself, or if you just want to try these out, because they are quite cool. I will actually, on my channel, it's on my list of swatching these out and showing them on the channel, because they're not very well known, these iridescents. So I will actually do a separate video on these as well. So if you are interested in them, you know, I will eventually upload it. But I will leave a link in the description so you can buy these yourself, if you want to try them out. Now, the next thing I want to do on my staircase is something with all these treads. Now, I've seen some people put fabric on them as actual like carpet, or just washi tape, which is possible, or just some decorative paper, which again is kind of what I'm going to do, but special paper. So the reason why my Ferris wheel press ink is here, and this is one of their fairy tale Alice in Wonderland blue beryl tonic. Now this stuff is expensive, I know that. Again, I'll leave a link below if you want to try this stuff out, or if you just love inks and handwriting and stuff like that as well. But the reason why I want it for this is because it gives off this beautiful colour. Yeah, so the colour is this. Now, it doesn't look like it on the camera, but there's a blue and then there's a pink undertone to it. Let's try the side camera, see if that picks it up a little better. And there's a bit of a shimmer to it as well. Yeah, the camera doesn't seem to be picking it up, which is a bit of a bummer, but in real life, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, all of the inks look a little bit dull, to be honest with you, when they're actually not, so, interesting. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I know in real life it looks absolutely fabulous. So how I'm going to do it is basically put some ink on this paper, which is basically just drawing paper, 250 GSM. It doesn't have to be this one from Scroller-Box, it could be any drawing paper, as long as it's smooth as well. And what it is, I'm going to fill a couple of sheets with this ink. I mean, I probably could get away with just doing the one sheet, but let's do two just in case. Just in case. So I'm going to cover these with ink with just a paintbrush. So let's just pop those out of the way because I don't want to splatter ink everywhere. Now I bet when Ferris Wheel Press introduced their inks, I bet they didn't think they'd been used for model making. So I found a new use for the inks. I'm giving it a good shake as well to make sure that all that shimmer comes out. I'm just using a papier to put some in the palette so the brush can get to it much better, and also swirl the shimmer around so we hopefully won't lose any of it. And then the brush that I'm using is just a flat brush, flat wash brush. Then simply just dab paintbrush in, let it up and get painting. Just fill the sheet with this and try and give it a relatively even coat as well. I'll do the other one the same as well. I'm going to leave these overnight to really dry out. And also if there's any buckling, I will basically iron them out and flatten them. It does take time for the effect to show through, so don't worry if you don't see it straight away with these, because it just takes a minute. Okay, so now we left the ink to dry overnight. I've had to do another piece because it didn't turn out quite as smoothly as I wanted. As you can tell, there's like you can see the brush marks and where the ink settled because I put it on a bit too thick. So I've done a bigger sheet and I've already been practicing with a couple of pieces. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you how I want to apply this to the landing and also the treads. So first thing is that you need to do is remember your holes and where they're going to be placed. So it's going to be placed there, so I'm going to flip this over. Yeah, I'm just avoiding the end of this ink paper because it's just where the ink's gathered at the end a little bit and made it a bit disjointed, so I'm just going to cut around that bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a centimetre overhang. And then I want 1/2 centimetre to create like a little tab, which I will show you why in a moment. So now we're just going to cut this out with scalpel and ruler. So for the landing piece we get a shape like this. So then what we're going to do is put some double-sided tape. This is just standard double-sided tape. You pick it up at Hobbycraft, Pound Shop, anywhere really. I always pick up a roll whenever I'm out and about because I always end up running out. Because I use them for practically everything. So I just want to try and get it as close to the edge as possible. And then neaten it up because last thing I want is for this paper to peel up at any point. And this is quite sticky, double-sided, strong double-sided tape, so it's not too bad. And we'll peel off the double-sided tape. I mean, I would have ideally liked to just use sticker paper for this. But the ink just did not look nice on the sticker paper for some reason, so we're doing it this way. So now we place our landing mat on the top, lining it up pretty straight. Remembering the overhang needs to go where the hole is. There we go. And then what we're going to do is just neaten this edge up where it's overhang just a little. Just going to cut straight along. And that's going to cut a square out of that corner. And then what I'm going to do is then use the plastic to fold over to get the perfect edge, and then use the plastic again to roll over and fold over again, and then squish down that side like so. One thing I'm going to do actually, just lift that up just for a second. I'm going to do the same thing, but with this little tab on this side. And then tuck that over as well. So now it means we've got this little corner edge, which, yes, I know there's a little bit of white showing, but that's easily fixed. So when I go to put it in place, it sits on the stairs quite nicely like that, with an overhang as well, which is what I really, really like. So to fix that white line here on the edge, you just go in with your ink and a smaller paintbrush than what I've got here. And then just go in with your ink and colour it in. But don't go too mad with it, because you don't want to see the ink splashes on the other bits of the carpet. So leave that to dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to do a tread to show you how to do a tread. So this is the final look. I just continue to fold over the inked paper, same as what I did on the floor plate on the treads. The only one that's different is this top one, because you need to do the other side as well. But overall, oh, and then you also need to make the holes again for where the banister rails go. Overall, I'm really pleased with how it looks. It looks so much better than just having the white. And then also, when the light's just right, you can see the designs on the side of the staircase as well. I'm just using my mobile phone at the moment because I can't move the sun. So in certain lights, it will actually pick up that little bit of sparkle, so it just adds a little bit more magic, I suppose you can say. But again, I'm really pleased with that as well. So I'm going to have to think of ideas of what to do for the next staircase, which goes above on the next floor for the Aristocats hallway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed pimping my staircase. If I was going to change it again, I think I might actually go with a purple, maybe to match the rug, or that sort of dusky pink that's on the chair to elevate it just a little bit more. But definitely adding a colour or a pattern to the staircase really does, I don't know, it gives more life and more depth, I think, to the staircase. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and enjoyed watching me pimp my staircase. Let me know if you guys are doing any customizations, whether it's on the staircase or anything else. I'd be interested to know. Here's a question for you guys. I am thinking about getting the Moomin House part works. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd want to watch or see. It is by a different company from Hatchet, which do the Doll's House. So I imagine things are going to be different. And from the videos that I've seen, it looks more hands-on. Whereas this one, we get a lot of plastic sort of mouldings, which are great in everything, but they're not quite as handmade as I would like. Whereas I think the Moomin one is. So I'm thinking about possibly trying that. But let me know your thoughts on that. Does anybody even remember the Moomins? I only vaguely remember them. but I've always liked them, but they've always been like something I've not really delved into. So maybe this part works might be a way of doing that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if that is something that you'd want to see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like what I've done with my stairs, and hopefully see you in the next issue. I think we're going back to Winnie the Pooh's room and finishing off some bets. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.